It's time to go coast to coast, and we have to make it an all-East edition with my guy Tim Bontemps in the building. Starting with new Knicks coach Mike Brown on how New York is going to look a little different this year.
I like to play fast. And so we're going to try to play fast and make sure that the floor is spaced the right way. And then defensively, we want to have a sense of physicality without fouling. We want people to feel us, and we want the fans to know that we're going to give multiple efforts on that end of the floor.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do there. The Knicks ranked in the bottom 5 in pace last season. Tim, is speeding things up key to their success?
I have great respect for Mike Brown. I think he's got a chance to do a very nice job with the Knickerbockers. However, every single coach that gets into a new job says they're going to play faster. Now, Mike Brown did that with the Sacramento Kings. He had a lot of success. The biggest thing the Kings did was move the ball and have pace and space with the Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis running pick and rolls. Can Mike Brown have Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns do that? That remains to be seen.
Next up, Jalen Brown, who was back in the lab in Spain after his offseason knee surgery. Ramona, how will he fare as the 1A in Boston this season without Jason Tatum, of course, out with injury?
You know, I think Jalen Brown relishes moments like this. He tried to play through that injury all throughout the playoffs, and I think he'll relish being the 1A here. But there is a good update on Jason Tatum. He's walking again. He's out of the boot. He's walking again. He said he's been doing 6 days a week in rehab, and I think he's ahead of schedule and coming back from that Achilles.
That facility in the Mediterranean that the NBPA has as a sanctuary is a pretty incredible spot.
Yeah, not bad. In Philly, Jared McCain
sent there.
is also making his return from knee surgery. David, if healthy, are you ready to believe in the Sixers as a top 6 team in that conference?
Yes, if healthy, but also, yes, that's like if I could fly or if somebody grew wings or something like that. Health is just like in the metaphysical right now. There was like a moment where I started to believe in the 76ers, and then 5 minutes later, I realized that should not be the case because I opened up and saw that Paul George is already hurt to start the season.
Ooh, all right, last stop, Chicago, where Josh Giddey is still a restricted free agent despite averaging 21, 10, and 9 over his final 20 games of the year. Tim, are we going to see a deal get done?
This is going to be really interesting to see, Vanessa. We have 3 restricted free agents sitting out there that are in this similar spot. Josh Giddey in Chicago, Quentin Grimes in Philadelphia, Jonathan Kuminga with the Warriors. All 3 of them have interesting negotiations because there is not cap space out there in the market, and their current teams have a lot of leverage to keep them. We'll see if Josh Giddey and the Bulls can get some kind of a deal done.
All right, well, time flies. It's been exactly 1 month since the NBA draft, and the guy that went number 1 had all eyes on him in the Vegas Summer League. Cooper Flagg was relatively inefficient from the floor in Game 1, but exploded his next game out, tying that Summer League record for most points by a number 1 pick. Our Marty Smith went to Flagg's hometown to find out more about the main man.
You know the player.
Cooper Flagg!
You know the poster.
Untouchable time!
The accolades.
A new ACC freshman record.
But let me introduce you to the village that raised Cooper Flagg. I went to the furthest reaches of the Northeast to find out how a kid from rural Maine became the main attraction in the NBA draft. Newport, Maine is a postage stamp of some 3,000 residents in the center of the state. It sits on the shores of Sebastian Lake with the patriotic blue-collar sensibilities that make small-town America so charming.
There's a fabric in our community of sticking together.
This is a rural Maine farming community. People work really hard for their living, and to have somebody rise above and put in that extra work, hit it on the national level as he did, is pretty impressive.
Flagg's basketball journey began right here at his childhood home in the center of town. This metal pole is all that remains from driveway hoop wars between a trio of brothers and a rotating tribe of teammates.
We've got so many memories here. A lot of fights, a lot of fist fights, a lot of blood and tears.
It was a joy to walk into those walls and be around their family, though. I have such great memories having sleepovers here and playing basketball here and growing up with them.
The boys told me about a local entrepreneur I had to meet. Bob Bird, owner of Bear's One-Stop Gas Station.
So Bob.
Yes.
You play horse against the high school kids around here?
Yeah, I play against most anybody.
What happens if they beat you?
They get a free tank of gas.
What happened when you played Cooper Flagg?
He got a free tank of gas.
Flag played just 1 year in this gym at Nokomis Regional High School, delivering the only boys basketball state title in school history.
When did you guys know that Cooper was different?
In middle school, never seen anything like it.
We didn't have a game within 30 points, and he'd have 25, 10, and 10 every night.
I think the highest compliment I can give to any player is you're a great teammate. And Cooper's a great teammate.
Why are you emotional about that right now?
That group was very special. You know, we talked about being a family, and sometimes that's a cliche, but that group really was that close. We really were a family.
Everyone I met agrees. Flag is the biggest thing that ever happened here.
He's just really good, and I really want to be like him someday.
While he went on to stardom at prep school in Florida, superstardom at Duke,
Cooper Flag, the most popular export from Maine since lobster.
And now stands on the doorstep of Mainer history.
It means a lot to me, coming from a small town. I'm being able to represent a state in the basketball space, kind of put it on the map.
Rest assured, Cooper's flag, sun or snow, is forever planted right here in Newport.
I mean, that was just great stuff by Marty Smith. Flag is the odds-on favorite, of course, to win Rookie of the Year at -190, according to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. He's followed by Trey Johnson at 9-1, and then VJ Edgecombe at 10-1. From getting boards to on the board, Spurs star Victor Wembanyama hosted his own Hoop Gambit tournament in France this week.
Victor's had quite the summer.
He really has.
He's been everywhere, worldwide. Wemby's teammate Jeremy Sohan was in attendance, as well as fellow Frenchman Rudy Gobert. And speaking of the Spurs, our Tim Bontemps released his rebuild rankings from the 14 teams who did not make the playoffs last season. It's not just about who's good right now, it's about who's building toward greatness. Bontemps' latest list of the best position for the future: number 1, the Spurs; number 2, Mavs; number 3, the Hawks; number 4, 76ers; and finishing the list at number 5, the Wizards. So let's start with this. Tim, why the Spurs?
2 words, Victor Wembanyama. If you have Victor Wembanyama on your team, you have a chance to win a championship. And that's what this whole list was about. How close are you to winning a title? There are several teams, Washington, Utah, Brooklyn, Charlotte, that if they'd gotten a Cooper Flag, they might be number 1 on this list because of all the other young guys they've got. But this guy right here is an alien. He's got a chance to be the best player on the planet. They have Stephon Castle. They have Dylan Harper. They have the ability to make other trades in the future. They just added De'Aaron Fox. This is a team that when you look at that list, if a couple things go right, we could be talking about them going toe-to-toe with the Oklahoma City Thunder over the next few years. Victor Wembanyama's got a chance to be the best player in the league. That is why they are at the top of that list.
Okay, so we've spent the last few weeks asking all the big questions of the offseason. Who's the team to beat? Which stars are on the move? What's next for some of the league's biggest names? But DDJ, you are done guessing. You're ready to deliver 3 NBA guarantees heading into the season. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do this. These are things I guarantee. Can I even do that? Anyway, So the number one thing that I'm guaranteeing here is that Victor Wembanyama, piggybacking off what Tim Bontemps said, he is going to be Defensive Player of the Year. Lock it in. He was close to Defensive